Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayam Vishnupan Vanamaham Zabadivajakacharanjam Ashtadarajashi Śrīmad His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Tridandiko Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Founder-Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Bhatita Pavana Savior the Fallen Souls Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada flooding the whole universe with the tidal wave of ecstatic Krishna Prema Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Panvanamaham Zabadivajakacharanjam Ashtadarajashi Śrīmad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Nama Chandra Shila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Paramsakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shamakon Radhakon Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamana Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Gaura Premananda. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to His divine grace. Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. Krishna Prestaya Bhutale. Srimate Bhaktivedanta Svaminiti Namane. Namaste Sarasvati Devi. Gauravani Pacharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Devsatarine. So today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, 4th Canto, Chapter 23, Maharaj Prithu's Going Back Home, text number 20. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Ativa Bhartu Vrata Dharma Nishtaya Shushrushaya Cha Arsha Deha Yatraya Na Avindata Artim Parikarshita Api Sa Preya Kara Sparshanam Mana Nivriti Ativa Bhartu Vrata Dharma Nishtaya Shushrushaya Charsha Deha Yatraya Navindatartim Parikshita Pisa Preyaskara Sparshana Mana Nivriti Ativa Bhartu Vrata Dharma Nishtaya Shrushrushaya Charsha Deha Yatraya Navindatartim Parikarshita Pisa Preyaskara Sparshana Mana Nivriti Achiva Bhartu Vrata Dharma Nishtaya Shrushrushaya Charsha Deha Yatraya Navindatartim Parikripshita Pisa Preyaskara Sparshana Mana Nivriti Vrata Dharma Nishtaya Shushrushaya Darshayataratraya Navindatartim Parikripshita Pisa Preyaskara Sparshana Mana Nivriti Preyaskara Sparshana Narva Nivriti Ativa Bhartu Vrata Dharma Nishtaya Shushrushaya charsha deha yatraya. Navindatartim parigrikshita pisa. Prayaskara sparshana narmanivriti. Ladies. Ativa bhartu vrata dharma nishtaya. Shushrushaya tarsha deva yatraya. Nitatim parikrishita pisa. Iskaya sparshana narma nivriti. Ativa bhartu vata dharma nishtaya. Shushrushaya tarsha deva yatraya. Navindatartim parikshita pisa. Prayaskara sparshana mana mirvati. Atim vipartu brata dharma nishtaya. Nivriti. Ativa bhartu vrata dharma nishtaya. Sirushaya tarshaya deva yatraya. Navindatartim parikshashita pisa. Prayaskara sparshana mana nirvriti. Ativa bhartu vrata dharma nishtaya. Shushushaya charshaya deva yatraya. Navindatartim parikshashita pisa. Askara sparshana mana viviti. Ata ativa, very much. Bhartu, of the husband. Vrata dharma, vow to serve him. Nishtaya, with determination. Shushrushaya, by serving. Cha, also. Arsha, like the great saintly sages. Deha, body. Yatraya, living condition. Na, did not. Avindata, perceive. Artim, any difficulty. Parikarshita, api, although transformed to become lean and thin. Sa, she, prayakara, very pleasing. Sparshana, touching. Mana, engaged. Nivriti, pleasure. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace. Om Vishnu Pad Paramaham Zabadi Vijakacharja Astatarasadasi Śrīmad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Tri Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. Although she was not accustomed to such difficulties, Queen Archie
followed her husband in the regulative principles of living in the forest like great sages. She lay down on the ground and ate only fruits, flowers, and leaves, and because she was not fit for these activities, she became frail and thin. Yet, because of the pleasure she derived in serving her husband, she did not feel any difficulties. Report. The words Bhartur Vrata Dharma Nishtaya indicate that a woman's duty or religious principle is to serve her husband in all conditions. In Vedic civilization, a man is taught from the beginning of his life to become a Brahmachari, then an ideal Grihastha, then Vanaprastha, then Sannyasi, and the wife is taught just to follow the husband strictly in all conditions of life. After the period of Brahmacharya, a man accepts a householder's life, and the woman is also taught by her parents to be a chaste wife. Thus, when a girl and boy are united, both are trained for a life dedicated to a higher purpose. The boy is trained to execute his duty in accordance with the higher purpose of life, and the girl is trained to follow him. The chaste wife's duty is to keep her husband pleased in household life in all respects. And when the husband retires from family life, she is to go to the forest and adopt the life of a vanaprastha or vanavasi. At that time, the wife is to follow her husband and take care of him, just as she took care of him as a householder life. But when the husband takes the renounced order of life, namely sannyas, the wife is to return home and become a saintly woman, setting an example for her children and daughters-in-law and showing them how to live a life of austerity. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas, his wife Vishnupriya Devi, although only 16 years old, also took the vow of austerity due to her husband's leaving home. She chanted her beads, and after finishing one round, she collected 1 grain of rice. And this way, as many rounds as she chanted, she had received the same number of rice grains and then cooked them and so take prasad. This is called austerity. Even today in India, widows or women whose husbands have taken sannyas follow the principles of austerity even though they live with their children. Pritha Maharaj's wife, Archie, was steadily determined to execute the duty of a wife, and while her husband was in the forest, she followed him in eating only fruits and leaves and lying down on the ground. Since a woman's body is considerably more delicate than a man's, Queen Archie became very frail and thin, parikarshita. When one engages in austerity, this body generally becomes lean and thin. Becoming fat is not a very good qualification in spiritual life, because a person who is engaged in spiritual life must reduce the comforts of the body, namely eating, sleeping, and mating, to a minimum. Although Queen Archie became very thin from living in the forest, according to regulative principles, she was not unhappy, for she was enjoying the honor of serving her great husband. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam. Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Namyagate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Ninataranam. As yesterday we were reading about the dedicated wife in the Vedic culture, today we're again reading the same theme. It's amazing the austerity of Vishnupriya. Can you imagine how much rice she was eating? Even if you chanted 64 rounds, 64 grains of rice, just a little spoonful. It's amazing the austerity she went through. Another very important point is not becoming fat. Sometimes they say prasadam belly, but actually that's not the proper thing to become fatty. Remember one of my godbrothers, he wanted to take sannyas, but he was very fat. Prabhupada didn't say anything directly, but he told the other devotees that one should be fit and not fat. Of course, we take prasadam to our full satisfaction. It's not that you have to imitate Vishnupriya Devi Dasi. Just taking 1 grain of rice for each round of japa. We take prasadam to our full satisfaction. And Prabhupada even told us, he said, I'm your spiritual master. If you want more prasadam, it's my duty to give it to you. So everyone can take as much as you like. And Prabhupada gives, you see. That's his kindness. But at the same time, we should be a little intelligent, you see. Not become fatty. Human life is meant for sense control, not uncontrolled senses. Vacha vegam manasa krodha vegam, shiva vegam udaropata vegam, etan vetanyo vishaheta dirva, savam vipimam prativim shishishya. This is how one becomes qualified as a preacher, you see. Mind, words, anger, tongue, belly, and genitals, fully absorbed in Krishna's service. That also is how one becomes happy. To the extent that we're serving our senses, it may appear to be enjoyable, but actually it's a hellish nightmare. Indriya seva is a hellish nightmare. It's only when we come to the position of serving Krishna that we can actually become happy. Millions of times we've given the example, the fish, he belongs in the water. So we need to be in that water of Krishna consciousness. If we try to enjoy outside of Krishna consciousness, we may think we're enjoying, but actually we're simply increasing our miseries. So we should carefully study the teachings of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, by regularly reading these books, discussing what's in these books, inquiring about what is in these books. We should all be masters of these books to know exactly what Prabhupada wants us to do in all times, all places, and all circumstances. It's by pleasing the spiritual master that actually one is able to please Krishna. You can't jump over the head of the spiritual master and expect to please Krishna. Who is this upstart, you see? You have to go through the medium of the devotee. Ye me bhakta jana partha, na me bhaktastate janaha, mad bhakchanam cha ye bhaktas, ye bhakta samamata. Krishna says, the one who is my devotee, na me bhaktas. He is not my devotee, but the devotee of my devotee. He is my devotee. So we have to learn this art of how to become devoted to the devotees. Very important thing. That's what keeps us in this movement. Those who become disturbed by devotees, who can't get along with devotees, they go away. You see. We have to learn how to be a part of the spiritual family, you see. That's, Prabhupada said, that's one of the items of surrender, how to become a member of a spiritual family. Family means loving relationships, you see. Working together in a loving mood, that's called family, you see. So the more we develop that family mood, we become very strong and powerful. You see, one stick, you can easily break it, you see. But a bundle of sticks, you can't break it, you see. So individually, we are very weak. We can easily fall down from Krishna consciousness, any one of us, you see. But by being packed up tightly together, you see, we're unbreakable, you see. So that's why one has to take shelter of the association of devotees. And the path of spiritual enlightenment is described by Rupa Goswami, Adau Shraddha, and then sadhu, sangha. You see, the first thing is you have faith in the process. That I realize there must be something beyond this material existence, and I want to achieve it. So you have faith in it, and the spiritual master can give it to me, because he has realized it himself. So one has faith in the process. The first step is to have faith. The second step is sadhu sangha. You have to take shelter of the association of sadhus and become detached, asat sadhu sangha, attachment, you see. Detached from the association of non-devotees and attached to the association of devotees. Of course, we associate with non-devotees also for the purpose of enlightening them. That is the mission of Lord Chaitanya. You go to all the non-devotees and you enlighten them in the science of Krishna. But actually everyone's a devotee. Every living entity is a devotee. They've simply forgotten it. This Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition on our minds. We're already Krishna conscious. You see. But by association with those who are Krishna conscious, that brings out the Krishna consciousness that's already there. Just like a match already has fire within it, isn't it? Isn't the fire already there in the match? And when you strike it, it comes out, you see. So, chanting Hare Krishna, taking prasadam, all the different activities of devotional service, they're actually striking that match of our consciousness to bring out what was already in there but was sleeping, you see. So then, by that sadhu sangha, associating with devotees, then you understand, bhajana kriya. I have to take up the activities of bhakti, hearing about Krishna, chanting Krishna, remembering Krishna, bowing down to Krishna, serving Krishna, and this way everything Krishna, 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 Krishna. You see, you learn bhajana kriya, how to engage in devotional service. So those three steps can come pretty easily, but the next step is what separates, as we say, the men from the boys, you see, or the ladies from the girls, you see. That's called anartha nivritti, you see. When you give up all the unwanted things, you get free from the bad habits. And we have many anarthas, many lusty, greedy, lazy, envious sort of contaminations sitting there in the heart. So to actually work to get rid of them, you see, to diligently endeavor to get rid of all that crud in the heart, that's what really can make you or break you, you see. One who embraces this getting the anarthas out of the heart, they become fixed in Krishna consciousness. Those who don't really want to do it, they leave sooner or later. I've seen many come and many go in these 48 years I've been practicing Krishna consciousness. I've seen many come and many go. God brothers, sannyasis, even gurus. Can you believe? Even gurus came and went. You see, they weren't really qualified to be guru. They were given a chance to be guru. They weren't really guru. You see. So that determining factor is anartanavritti. Who is willing to get rid of all this dirt? You see. Who wants to do a soul cleanse? You see. Not only bathing the body, you see, but who wants to bathe the soul, get free of all the stool and the urine of the mind, you see. If we're attached to these anarthas, we won't want to give it up, you see. But one who realizes that these anarthas are simply causing me pain and anxiety and misery. One is intelligent, he understands this is to my great advantage to get rid of this stuff. I'm not going to lose anything by getting rid of my lust, anger, greed, madness, illusion, and envy. I'm going to gain everything by doing that, you see. So those who are intelligent, they stick it out through thick and thin, year after year, decade after decade. They stick it out and they keep working, you see. I describe it just like in our preaching once a year we go to Santiago, Chile, and then we go over, there's a huge Andes Mountains there in South America, and then we go over to Mendoza, Argentina. Now we actually take the airplane, makes it easy. But there's a road. And you can imagine there's sometimes aggressive people who ride the bicycle, you know, bike hikers, who may actually make that journey on the bicycle. Then a great test of endurance, going up those mountains, you know, going up. So just imagine how difficult it is going up these huge mountains, like Andes Mountains, huge mountains, snow-capped, you know, very big snow-capped mountains, you see. So once you get to the top, though, just gliding down to Mendoza. You have to use your brakes, actually, you don't go too fast, you see. It's gliding down, you see. So, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Nartanavritti, that's going up. But once you get to the next stage called Nishtha, that's called fixed. And you're almost a pure devotee when you get to the Nishtha stage. There's still a little dirt there, but you're gliding in, you see. Gliding in. So we really have to embrace you see, we have to have faith in the process, associate with devotees, get initiated in the Bhajana Kriya stage, you can take Diksha, and then you got to really work hard. After Diksha, that's when you really got to work hard to get rid of those anarthas. Because once you get those anarthas, 99.999% eliminated, then it becomes very easy to advance in Krishna consciousness. Practically automatic after that point. There's still a chance to fall down, but it's practically automatic. It's very rare that someone would fall from those higher stages. There are examples, even from the bhava stage, but that's a rare thing. So we should be very diligently endeavoring now. Those who have not gotten to Bhajana Kriya, have not taken initiation yet, they should be serious about this process and commit themselves by taking initiation. You have to take it very seriously if you actually want to achieve the perfection. Initiation means you're taking it seriously. If you don't want to get initiated, you're not serious about the process. You're not, you see. So you have to be serious about this process, take initiation, and then you have to be willing to, keep bringing that mind back, struggle with all the material tendencies which are there in the heart, and just, beat the mind with shoes, as Bhaktivedanta said, in the morning and in the evening with a broomstick 100 times. So one has to work diligently to bring the mind under control, but the thing is, it gets easier and easier. Year after year, it becomes easier and easier to do it. But yet you can't just give up the endeavor. at a certain point, you have to keep applying the pressure to yourself to get rid of this nonsense. Keep putting the pressure on yourself. That's how you become successful. If you're willing to put pressure on yourself to get rid of all this dirt. If you don't want to do that, well, you can remain in the material existence, even become an animal or a plant in your next life. But those who are intelligent realize, let me discipline myself. Let me endeavor to control these senses. Vacha vegam manasa krodha vegam. These senses are dancing dogs, running here, running there for some pleasures. We have to say no. We don't need the pleasures of the tongue, the pleasures of the genitals, all these pleasures. We don't require them. There's only one thing we need, and that is pure love of God. Everything else can be left aside, but this thing must be embraced fully. I must now develop pure love of God within my heart, because only that will satisfy me. Anything else is just an agitation which will make me more and more agitated for sense gratification. But if I embrace this principle, I must now fully surrender myself to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I understand this is the purpose of my existence, to be a lover of God. I have no other reason to exist except for that one purpose. I am meant to have a very sweet, intimate, loving relationship with Krishna. That's why I exist. So let me get back to my actual identity that I once had in the spiritual world before I made the stupid mistake of trying something different than being Krishna's devotee. You see, Krishna doesn't force us to be his devotee. Love cannot be forced. So the choice is always there. You can love Krishna or you can leave Krishna. But it's very rare. It's practically 1 over infinity is the percentage of persons in the spiritual world who would leave. It's an infinitesimally small number, 1 divided by infinity. So why are there so many of us here, then, one could ask? If only a extremely infinitesimal number of living entities would ever leave Krishna's service, why we have so many of us here in the material world, one could ask. Well, you can do the math. You go, there's an infinite number of living entities, right? So you take 1 divided by infinity, which is be the number that would give up Krishna's, an infinitesimal, the smallest possible number. And you multiply it by infinity, and you get infinity. 1 divided by infinity times infinity equals infinity. Therefore, we have an infinite number of living entities here in the material world who gave up Krishna's service, even though it's an infinitesimal fraction of the infinite number of living entities in the spiritual existence. So, let's go back. We've been stuck here since time immemorial, rotating in the cycle of birth and death. Sometimes, you know what our first birth was? That's really amazing. Prabhupada said our first birth was Brahma. Every one of you were the Brahma. You were the demigod in charge of the whole universe. That was our first birth when we fell down. We were all Brahma. Maybe 4 heads, maybe 8 heads, maybe 16 heads, maybe 32 heads, maybe 64 heads. We were all Brahmas. We had universes that were ours. They were our universe. We tried to enjoy being a Brahma. We were non-devotee Brahmas. Devotee Brahma will go back, you see. We were non-devotee Brahmas. And then we went down, well, let's try being Indra, let's try being this, try being this. Finally went all the way down to become Indra Gopa, a germ, trying to somehow find something that I would enjoy. So we try to enjoy in this way, in that way, in this way. But somehow or other now, we're very fortunate we have the human form. Out of the 8,400,000 species, we have the human form. This is a very rare opportunity, you see. To be a human being is a very, very rare opportunity, but unfortunately in this Kali Yuga, the whole society is simply geared towards animalism, sense gratification. So we have to come out of that consciousness of the material world and come to the Krishna consciousness platform. By the mercy of His divine grace, Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Parivajakacharya Astatarasadasi Śrīmad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Tri Dandi Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada. this movement is spread all over the world. It's even come here to Melbourne, Australia. You see? So those souls who are inclined to become reconnected with their actual identities in the spiritual existence, they can get the facility, you see. The association, the training, the guidance, the mercy, the blessings, you see. So we should capitalize on this good fortune. As there is a saying, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. You see. Take advantage of this opportunity that you've gotten now and make yourself perfect. Have faith in the process, associate with devotees, take initiation, work diligently to get rid of all the nartas, and then have that awakening of pure love of God within the heart. There's no reason to continue suffering in this material existence when you can achieve a state of unlimited bliss, even in this present body, you see. Even in these present bodies, we can become fully awakened. You don't have to wait to go back to Godhead to be fully awakened. You can become fully awakened right here, right now, just by fully embracing devotional service as your only business, right here, right now. And if you can't do that, would you like to do that? If you'd like to do that, just beg for it. My dear Krishna, here I am today in Melbourne, Australia. After many thousands and millions of births, I came here to try to enjoy my senses. But now I've realized that this is not my actual position of happiness. I've realized my real position of happiness is to be simply engaged in your pure devotional service. So my dear Lord, I'm begging you, please pull me out of my tendency to want to enjoy separately from you, and please let now my only tendency to be to please you unlimitedly, my every thought, word, and deed, in all times, places, and circumstances. Anybody who wants to can pray like that, you see. Anyone can pray that way if they want to. And if you sincerely beg Krishna for that awakening of pure love within your heart, he will reciprocate. Actually, Krishna's been waiting for millions and billions of lifetimes. When is this soul going to come back to me? You see, when is he going to come back? If you make that sincere prayer, begging Krishna, my dear Lord, I've had enough of this nonsense, sense gratification. Now please bless me that only devotional service from now on, my Lord, nothing but devotional service. If you sincerely beg Krishna like that, he will give you all facilities. He'll give you a bona fide spiritual master. He'll give you wonderful devotees to associate with. He'll give you a nice prasadam, deity worship, Prabhupada's books. He'll give you everything you need, you see. You just have to have that desire to become the pure devotee of Krishna, kicking out all the other desires. What if I have so many desires? The pure devotee is just one of them, maybe number 10 on the list. Well, beg Krishna, my dear Lord, please let this be my only desire from now on. I simply want to be your pure devotee and nothing else. Please, my Lord, help me kick out every other desire I have in my heart. And let my only desire to be to please you unlimitedly with my every thought, word, and deed in all times, places, and circumstances. So this process is very powerful. It works. If you work the process, you will achieve pure love of God in your heart. You will become qualified to see Krishna face to face. If you take this process with great determination, great enthusiasm, and patience, you will achieve the perfection of Krishna prema. That's a fact. You will. You will achieve it. So if there's any questions, I can try to answer them. You have something?
This verse, we understand that since Krishna is the only Purusha, everybody is Prakriti, so should we take these austerities of Archi daily and wanting to serve Krishna?
The austerities of Archi for serving Krishna?
Yeah.
Well, her austerities of serving her husband. The husband is a devotee.
Yeah, Krishna is the only Purusha, everybody is Jiva.
Yeah.
So, which verse should one perform to serve Krishna, the austerities that she was doing?
It's hard for me. Somebody, the sounds going on. But Yeah,
All the jivas are Prakriti, the
that's right,
servants
that's
of
right,
Krishna.
that's right.
As the wife is serving the husband, so suppose shouldn't the devotees should serve Krishna in the same manner?
They should serve Krishna the same way that she's serving her husband?
Yes.
Yeah,
Not
that's,
as thinking that Krishna is the husband, but Krishna is the master.
yes. Yeah, we have to serve Krishna as our master. That's a thing. That's how we bow down. The curtain opens, we bow down, we feed him, we bathe him, and we follow we take him as our authority, our supreme authority. The instructions he gives us in the Bhagavad Gita, we take them as our life and soul. We have to be totally obedient to him, following everything he says. Manmana mamabad bhakto majaji mang namaskaru. Engage your mind always in thinking of me. Offer obeisance and worship me. We have to take these orders of Krishna as our very life and soul. Krishna has ordered me to always think of him, so I must do that. He's my master. He's ordered me to always thinking about him, so I must always engage my 24 hours in such a way that I'm always thinking about Krishna. Any other questions? Yes? What'd she say? How to associate with devotees?
How to associate with pure devotees?
With pure devotees. You have to the pure devotee. You have to welcome him. As you have to take it as the greatest blessing to have the association of a pure devotee. It's like when Prabhupada was here. It was like the greatest thing to have his association. We took Prabhupada's association to be as good as associating with Krishna. And when Prabhupada entered the room, we'd all hit the floor. And however we could serve him, that's how everything everything. We were totally absorbed in. When Prabhupada would come, everybody would be totally absorbed in him. What is he saying? What can I learn from him? How can I please him? How can I serve him? Everything revolved around pleasing him in every circumstance. That's how we related to Krishna as pure devotee. It's as good as being with Krishna himself. That's how we related to it. Okay? Anything else? Yes?
How do we know that we have 100% surrender?
Well, we can know that we're not 100% surrendered. That's what we have to see. How am I not surrendered to Krishna? Even Lord Chaitanya even prayed that I have no attraction for the holy name. The more you feel you're not surrendered, that is your actual surrender. You think, oh yeah, I'm totally surrendered, yeah, I'm practically a pure devotee, fairly surrendered. I chant 16 rounds every day, and I follow the principles, and come to Mangalarti at least once a week, and I'm fully surrendered, yeah. Now, the more you feel that you're not surrendered, that is your advancement in Krishna consciousness. Of course, that doesn't mean you should not chant your rounds and not follow the principles so you feel you're not surrendered. You should follow all the instructions that Prabhupada has given, that your spiritual master gives you. You should follow them with great determination, enthusiasm, and patience. And at the same time, see what a rascal I am. You see, I'm such a rascal. The more you can feel you're a rascal, that is, and while you're strictly following the rules and regulations, that is your actual surrender. The more you can feel you're not surrendered, you see. Next question. Everyone is satisfied now. Ready to embrace pure devotional service as your only business in all times, all places, and all circumstances from now on for all of eternity? Yes? Okay. All right, we'll stop here, and we thank you very much for tuning in. Please take these teachings seriously, and your life will be